how life continues to be, and you continue to be in it, and you continue to be where you are, and life comes to you. Sometimes it feels like it's coming at you. Life comes to you in perfect response to what you've got going on, and as it does, you are able to continually evaluate. Yes? So do you think you're overdoing your evaluating or underdoing it? You think you are paying too much attention to life or not enough attention? Do you think you're trying to figure it all out? In other words, getting out ahead of it. That's a big thought, isn't it? Because as much as you've already lived, there is so much that is before you. In fact, almost all of it is before you. Since you're eternal, that makes sense, doesn't it? So when we encourage you to get out ahead of it, was it sort of twisting your brain into a knot? Or did you not think about it at all? Esther thought about it incessantly. Getting out ahead of it, getting out ahead of it. How far out ahead of it should I be getting? I can't get into the unknown with much satisfaction. She began to notice that she could be general in her getting out ahead of it. I expect to live happily ever after. But do you know what segment intending is? Segment intending is acknowledging that you've entered a new segment. And what is a new segment? It's a new block of time, a new period of being where your intentions have changed ever so slightly from the block of time or from the period of experience that was just before it. For example, if you were to get into your automobile, your vehicle, you've entered a new segment because your intentions have changed. Your intentions in your automobile, if you are driving, may be to be aware of where you're going, to be aware of what's around you, to be aware of the others around you, to be clear-minded, to be happy-hearted, to be flexible and connected and responsive and in love with life. In other words, some of these things you would want to include in every segment, but being in your vehicle includes different intentionality than sitting on your sofa. Yes? Choosing a movie, you're entering a new segment. Being in the movie, you've entered a new segment. Someone new walks into the room, you've all entered a new segment. You enter in a new room, you've entered a new segment. So if you are aware that a new segment has begun, then you can think about what your preferences are with that segment. Esther's daughter Tracy often tells the story. Esther heard her tell the story to her own children recently, that when she was in college, she was working as a waitress in a 50s diner. And most often on her way to work, which was 15 or 20 minutes, depending on traffic, not much traffic happening then, she would think about how glad she was to be there and about the customers that would be given to her in her section and how playful they would be, how happy to be in this playful environment they would be, how nice they would be to interact with, and how much fun she was going to have in interacting with them, and how nice it was going to be to interact with the cooks and the other people that were working in the restaurant. And Tracy noted that when she took the time to do that intentionality for that segment, that it always was a nice evening. But if she just got in her car and went to work and didn't get down the road a little bit with any intention, then she found herself, and this is really the point that we want you to hear, and then off we'll go into whatever you want to talk about. She would find herself reacting, not out ahead of it, reacting to it as it came. So when a not so pleasant customer would be seated in her section, it was hard not to react to it. Anyone would. But if you've gotten out ahead of it and you've asked for the kind of people that you want to interact with, you give the universe the opportunity to yield to you what you're asking for. Now, the universe is always yielding to you what you're asking for. So what good does segment intending do? Segment intending causes you to line up with what you're asking for. It causes you to contemplate what you are looking for. And you know, the specifics of a moment in time are really powerful. When teachers ask you to be present or to acknowledge the power of now, understanding segment intending would, by our estimation, be the very best way to get out ahead of it, to be a vibrational creator, to be preparing the vibrational atmosphere. But it's more about preparing the vibrational atmosphere within you. It's not about controlling the clients, although it does influence what happens. It's about you identifying what your point of attraction is going to be, so that in this segment of your experience, your point of attraction is going to be something that you have particularly identified that you want to emphasize. You see what we're getting at? And we would like you to, just for today, maybe tomorrow, and possibly for the rest of your life, think about getting out ahead of things in just that way. That here I am, new to this moment, but not so new to this moment. Here I am, old me, new to this moment. How much of old me is in this moment getting in the way of the new to me in this moment? How much of who I have been is active right now? And so how much am I regurgitating rather than getting out ahead of it? How much am I intending and how much am I just reacting to? And as you begin playing with this, what you're going to begin to notice is that you have a lot of control over what comes into your experience, segment by segment by segment by segment. So many things. The universe is cooperative, and the law of attraction is always gathering all of the cooperative components. But sometimes, if you're not paying attention, you are not identifying and dictating the components to which you intend to be cooperative. And since it's all about attraction, it's all about attraction, it's all about attraction, it's all about attraction, then don't you want to do whatever you can do to get out ahead of it so that you can be a vibrational offerer who attracts to you what you intend to attract, rather than someone who just sort of stumbles into a moment. That's what we call creating by default, and then reacts to the moment.